Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I hope you enjoy this interview. And before we get into it, I just want to take a quick moment to ask for you guys for your support. If you can like and subscribe this video or leave a comment, it really helps out the channel to kind of spread this information around. Of course, YouTube doesn't move anything around unless there's like, subscribe, and comments. That's basically how it determines whether a video is any good or not. So if you do like the video, if you could leave a like, a comment, or subscribe, I really would appreciate it. Also, if you want to be a part of the show, you can email me directly at the Desert Spring, not the Desert Spring, I'm sorry, Desert Spring 111 at gmail.com. That's Desert Spring 111 at gmail.com. And I'd love to share your story here on the show. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome to the show. We have here Daniel Gutierrez. And Daniel was raised Mormon, and I know his story. I know a lot of his story because he is my cousin, and we go way, way back. We fixed our first dishwasher together.
Yeah, broke your mom's dishwasher.
Broke my mom's dishwasher intentionally too. No, I'm just kidding.
Intentionally, no. I mean, we did sit on the door.
Yeah, we did sit on it, and we were heavy kids. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna give Danny the floor to kind of share his experience. So basically, what we want to know, Danny, is kind of the same thing. Your deconstruction story, right? Kind of how you grew up, your childhood. You grew up Mormon, right? Were you always Mormon? Did you move to the Mormon church? How did that go? If you want to share some of the teachings, what were they that kind of stuck out to you, all that kind of stuff. And then what we mainly want to get into is a lot of the feelings and emotions involved inside of while you were in the faith, right? Your cry out to God, if you ever had a cry out to God. I know I had a bunch of cry out to God moments in my life. Your fear of hell, everybody telling you that, hey, if you don't turn your life around back to Christ, then Christ is gonna, you're gonna go to hell, all this kind of stuff. How you dealt with all of that, emotionally speaking, and then how you got out of it in the other side, right? And kind of what your beliefs are now. On the show, guys, we never push an objective. We're open to, we all kind of have a common goal, and it's in the recognition that Christianity does a ton of damage. Now, of course, Christianity helps a lot of people, right? It feeds a lot of people, it houses a lot of people, and it clothes a lot of people, and these are good things about the religion. But you have to take the good with the bad, and there's a shit ton of bad that goes along with the good. So, even if you just wanted to reform your Christianity to just reflect the good aspects and not really deal with the bad parts of it, then that'd be great. The problem is that the bad parts of it tend to be the actual Christian parts of it, that's what we're kind of getting into today. So Danny, I'll let you kind of tell your story.
Yeah. Well, we weren't always Mormon. Actually, I went to church with you. That was like my first experience at the Baptist church.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the only difference I would say that they kind of pushed on me when I was younger, and I remember this from the Baptist church and the Mormon church, was to get baptized and which church to get baptized at. And then at that point, that's when my mom came in and it was like, no, you're not getting baptized with them. I want you to get baptized with me. Which took some convincing because, I was with y'all all the time.
Bro, I remember that. I remember that. So, I was like, I want Danny to be baptized with me, though.
Yeah, I'm busy right now. So it was like, it was a big thing because my mom didn't want to let me get baptized in the Baptist. So that was probably my biggest thing with religion, and that was at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be like a decision that like a 16-year-old can make, or like somebody that's a little more
who knows what they're doing,
Yeah, because when you're 8 years old and you get pulled to like, okay, if you don't baptize yourself, you will go to hell.
Right. So at 8 years old, you were already kind of deathly afraid of hell at that point.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? As a kid, and especially
we went to the same church. We were both shitting bricks.
Yeah. So, I mean, at 8 years old, and then you see, like, let's say, shows, you kind of put the media to it as well, because you start watching shows and you see their portrayal of hell, and it's like, damn, like,
Oh man,
that's intense. That's something you don't want to see. And then you're 8 years old and you think about that, like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, can I cuss? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's fine. I cuss all the time on the show. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
eventually, we should get to a point to where eventually the cussing stops, but
it's okay. You too, bro. Margaret. No, I'm just kidding.
You too will ban. It's crazy.
Right. Nah. But yeah. So that was my biggest thing. And then, not that I stopped going with you, because I did go with you on occasion. Like, my mom, I would go with her because she wanted me to go with her. But it was like back and forth. So
was
you see the difference.
Was your mom always Mormon, or?
No, she was actually Catholic.
Catholic. Okay.
Yeah, but she was born, because the family was Catholic.
Yeah.
So it was these just two missionaries, which.
So from the Baptist perspective, from one denomination that was going to go to hell to another denomination that was going to go to hell. From the Church of Christ perspective, everybody's going to hell, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway.
Honestly, I think the only reason why she switched is because nobody in Catholicism came up to her and like taught her or talked about religion, because she was always like a religious person. Yeah. She was never like a bad person either. She's such a good lady. So, so I think the fact, because those missionaries, dude, very convincing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they're very nice. And I won't say a bad thing about them, because
and they come a lot.
Yeah, they do. Like, they still come to my house now, and I'll be honest, like, I don't want to be that rude guy and be like, hey, get out. Because they never, because they're not bad people. They're just trying to spread the word, and I understand, like, that's their goal, So I never pushed them and said, hey, no, like, today's not the day or something. So my mom will still let them in, and they'll talk, and then they'll do a prayer and, stuff like that, which is nice. It's cool to have like that nice positivity in your house, because they just want to talk.
Right.
But it does seem a little like, man, what's the word? Annoying, because you kind of, you're like, we're not going to church anymore, but you still come, and you should get them. We should probably tell them, like, hey, like, stop. But my mom is too nice to do something like that. So, but yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing that I've seen from both is the type of people that were at each church too, because I experienced both. So the church, the Mormon church, was strictly Hispanics, because it was a Spanish ward, but they also had an English ward as well, and you can see the difference between those two as well. Like, it was a huge difference, and I felt sometimes there were some eyes, maybe, but
and when you're talking about difference, you're talking about kind of like acceptance for being Hispanic, or what?
Kind of.
Yeah.
It felt like that, like, kind of eyes, like, what are you doing here? You know? Because it just felt like that sometimes, and it wasn't all of them. It was, most of them were nice, and they would say hi, and as soon as, because they'd walk out and then we'd walk in, because it was back and forth, kind of like they started at 8 a.m. we started at 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah, one of those things. Yeah, okay.
So sometimes you'd get those eyes, but it was random sometimes, but it is Texas, so yeah. So other than that, also, I mean, in the Baptist church, I never really had any bad things to say about it, or really, like, I mean, you see the pastor go up there and he explained the same thing pretty much over and over, like, oh, we're all going to go to hell anyway if we don't do this, and that. And ever since leaving either church, because I don't go to church anymore, I don't feel that way. Like, I felt like if I was always a good person, then good things will happen. If I was a bad person, then, I mean, kind of like a karmic resolution, but...
well, let's reverse a little bit before we get into kind of like present day. So whenever, so you're 8 years old, you just got baptized, and now you're in this state of being torn between churches, right? You're going to your mom's Mormon church, and you're coming to my Baptist church. So what was kind of like your internal thoughts? I mean, 8 years old at that point, fucking Saturday morning cartoons,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like... it's funny. The Baptist church kept trying to convince me to get baptized.
Yeah.
Even after
Even
I told
after
him, like,
you'd gotten baptized at the Mormon church?
yeah, I had already told him, like, I already got baptized.
Yeah.
And I felt like sometimes they probably wanted to be like, oh, all right, you should probably leave. But since we were, you know, I was your family,
yeah,
they weren't going to say anything, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, shit, dude, yeah, they tried to convince me for, like, a good while.
Yeah.
Like, every time we went to, what was it, Saturday night? What was it?
Not the youth
teenagers?
Groups. Oh, God.
Yeah, the youth
not
group.
the fucking
Yeah.
youth groups, bro.
Dude,
what the fuck?
sometimes I'd get pulled away and they'd be like, hey, like, have you thought about getting baptized? And I'm like, nah, like, I've already done it.
And then I'm sitting there like, why the fuck you pulled Danny away? Send him back in.
Yeah. I just wanted to play basketball.
You ain't doing that to him.
So, yeah, no, I mean, that was the biggest thing, honestly. I remember one time in the Baptist church, this girl was like 10 years old, and we were talking about like being gay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of another way, but yeah. And she was like, well, my brother's gay. And then the pastor was like, well, your brother's gonna burn in hell.
I remember that, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, he's pulling no punches.
Dude. And the girl was just like, fuck you. Yeah,
it was
she started
dramatic.
going
That
off.
day was dramatic, dude. That day was dramatic, yeah.
They escorted her out. It was crazy. Like, and she was 10, like 10, 12 years old, I think, something
Honestly, though, good for her for having the balls to, like, stand up to a fucking religious organization and be like, no, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. Because, you know, like, I don't have anything against gay people. Like, they're cool. I have a bunch of gay friends, to be honest, and I love them all. So,
no, but so you're bouncing between Mormon, you're bouncing between Baptist, and you're around, let's say, 12 years old. So at this point, you kind of got an idea of what's going on, what both of the doctrines are, and all that kind of stuff, because it was kind of always the same thing when you came to my church. You're going to go to hell unless you repent and, you know, confess the Lord Jesus Christ died on the cross for your sins, and then you're a Christian, and that was it, you know. Yeah. And so if the Mormons, whenever you were in the Mormon church, what was the kind of like, you know, because I remember whenever we would kind of seeing you bounce back and forth and stuff like that, Michael would go, Lizzie would go, and Lizzie seemed to be a little bit more kind of involved with like all the teachings and all that kind of stuff. But like, you're 14. Right. So what are you dealing with at that point? Like, what's kind of going through your mind? Are you afraid of hell? Are you afraid of, you know, what's going on?
Honestly, that wasn't even going through my mind at 14. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, I knew like hell was the thing, but like I knew I wasn't a bad person. Like, because you know, you kind of structure yourself off of the 10 Commandments because that's what you were grown, you know, you were born into. So that was like, I mean, not that I never did any of those things, but like I never did it to a point that like I, you know, felt like I was like a bad person because of that.
Now, were you one of those people who were like deathly afraid of hell, or were you just like, oh, it's something I'd like to avoid?
Probably something I would like to avoid if there's probably something after, you know. But then again, it's like, do I believe that now? Yeah. You know. Yeah. Because like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the right thing.
I remember, man. Whenever I was a kid, like 12, because dude, they'd have those fucking hellfire and brimstone sermons, you know. Yeah. They would have those on a monthly basis or every 2 months or some shit. And that would scare the absolute fuck out of me. And it's like, doesn't matter that I'm already Christian. Doesn't matter that I already got saved. Doesn't matter that I'm in the choir, that I'm going out every Saturday and witnessing, and I'm, you know, in the fucking orchestra and all this kind of bullshit, and sending you happy birthday cards, you're going to hell. You remember that? You remember that? No, was it Christmas or birthday?
Probably both.
Probably
both. Valentine's Day for extra.
Valentine's Day is wild.
Yeah, because dude, like,
here's some pink cards for your black one. God.
Yeah, dude.
No,
I can't think of a time that like it really affected me like that. I was like so scared to the point that because I never did anything that bad.
Yeah.
I never, as much as like killed an animal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I went hunting with y'all, but I never shot a fucking
We
deer.
didn't shoot a damn thing. We never killed a damn thing.
We shot clay pots and just random shit.
Yeah, and it was so funny. I told Dad, I was like, dude, what makes you think that you're gonna roll up to the deer stand in your vehicle, like while the sun is up, with guns pointed out of the car, and you were just gonna like a fucking Wendy's drive up and shoot one and fucking
right? Like, and I didn't even turn the car off. We had the AC going.
He literally would have the AC going, and then whenever he decided he wanted to be extra quiet, he'd turn off the key, and then you hear that ding, 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 and it's just like, all right, the one who had the most experience hunting was like the worst at it.
Really? All right, guys, be quiet. And he cracks the biggest branch he could find.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Sean Hannity screams through the radio while he goes to turn it down. Fucking Republican ass deer.
Only way he'd stay in the middle if he just turned on the headlights, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Man. So let's get into let's kind of get into how you dealt with the family dynamic, right? Because I remember that that there was kind of like when you were kind of later teens, like 18, 17, something like that. We all kind of go through the whole finding ourselves phase, right?
Yeah.
And you were kind of in and out of the Mormon church at that point with your family.
Yeah.
And so what was your whole thought process with that? Were you experiencing anything there?
No. I mean, when I turned 18, I stopped going, indefinitely.
Yeah.
Like, to everything. Because honestly, I would go for Boy Scouts. Because they had a Boy Scout like program there, so that was cool. Like, don't get me wrong, that was probably, and then because it was the people there too, and they were really nice and they were cool. Like, don't get me wrong, there's always a couple people at a church that are always like, but.
And I remember I wanted to go with you so bad to those fucking Boy Scouts because your mom would let you come to our house and to our camp. Yeah. But then I wasn't allowed to go to your camp. I was like, "What the fuck, Mom?"
Yeah, yeah. You never slept over until like after you're like 18.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Families.
Because they were like, once you're 18, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then the same here. I mean, well, I stopped going to church when I was like 16.
Yeah.
Like 16, 17. Like, I just got tired of it. I remember one time, we got into a big fight because the 2010 World Cup was on, and it was the final, and it was on a Sunday, and my mom was like, "We got to go to church," and I was like, "No, like no, like this is the World Cup final," and so I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't go to church because of the World Cup final.
Did you ever experience any sort of like crazy parenting or anything like that because of Mormonism and stuff like that?
Yeah, there was certain music I couldn't listen to until I got to a certain age where I just didn't care anymore, like what my mom would think about the music I listened to. TV shows, video games, everything, dude, like it was controlled. Yeah. Like, if I wanted to go do an activity, it was up to her or not, because it had to be within the church. Right. She wanted to be within the church. So, those times that I went with y'all to camp and like Saturday group and stuff like that, not that every time it was a fight, because she liked that I went to a church anyway, because, she just wanted me to be, she didn't care at one point, like if it's, if it's Baptist or Mormon, at least if you're going to be with the church, then hopefully it's a good church, and that was probably when I was like 14. That's when she was like, okay, like she kind of got open-minded, like, okay, I used to be Catholic too, so I understand, like, not everybody is going to go with that same religion, but that's few people that think like that. Because most of the time they're going to be like, no, because let's be honest, there's no way your mom would have been like, let's let you take you to a Mormon church.
I can't tell you how many times I tried.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, Danny comes to church with us all the time. Why can't I go to church with Danny? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many times. But no, from our perspective of stuff, man. From our perspective growing up, it was just, you know, you guys were Mormon. You guys were the sinners. So you were allowed to come hang out with us, but we weren't allowed to go hang out with you. That was always the bullshit. And it was so frustrating because it was like, even for your birthdays and stuff like that, it's like, I just want to go to Danny's house for his birthday. Like, it's his fucking birthday, you know? And I'd hang out with your dad, and I love your dad so much, man. He fucking he cracks the can on anything that has a lid on it, dude. Like, any thought form with a lid on it, and he'll just crack that shit right open, you know? And you'll be like, what?
Like, where did you come up with this? Like, shit that would come out of his mouth is crazy.
And he would do it while holding, like, 2 Modelo's.
Yeah, Bud Light.
Yeah, that's right. He'd do it while holding 2 Bud Lights. And I'd be like, oh, my God. This drunk guy is spitting wisdom, you know?
Right. Dude, it's crazy. I mean, you know, it's funny. My dad went to church one time because a missionary beat him in pool. That's a true story.
That's crazy.
Like, because they had already convinced my mom, like, go to church.
Yeah.
And this was when we were in Southwest. And oh no, my bad. No. We already had moved, and we moved to Cyprus.
Yeah.
And so they started coming over. You know, they would come over weekly, and then we have like a little thing. Oh, that's also one of the things too. They would come over weekly. Have like an hour and a half just doing prayers and all this, and it's like we'd have to sit in the couch, just listen to it, and it's like, oh my God, like I just want to go upstairs and just play video games, you know?
Right.
It was weekly from like, I'd probably say from 6, I think I was like 6 or 8 when she converted.
Yeah.
From like 6 to like 17, they would come a lot, dude. And so anyway, when I was going with it, so one of the missionaries came over. My dad was already drinking. And he was trying to convince him, like, yo, come to church, you know? And he was like, all right, look, if you beat me in pool, I'll go to church. And he beat him in pool. And he went to church. And he actually got my dad baptized. I don't know if I ever told you that. Yeah, he decided to, like, baptize with them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, my dad's a Mormon, even though he did not care about church, to be honest. I mean, he cared, like... Real. He cared that, you know, he knew that there was a heaven and hell, but he was not a churchgoer. I mean, he liked to drink. So yeah.
So what was your? So let's talk about you walking away. So you're at this point, you're just kind of vibing. You're not trying. You know, you don't. Everybody's telling you you're going to hell, but at this point, they've been telling you that for 20 years. And it's just kind of water off a duck's back, right? So you're around 22 years old, 23 years old. You're just kind of doing your thing. At what point did you start to kind of see the chinks in the armor for Mormonism, for Christianity? Like, what were some of the thoughts that you had of like, oh wait, no, this doesn't make any sense at all, and this is, and it's just escalating. Like walk me through that.
Honestly, at one point, I think it was just more of us, like, I just didn't want to go to church anymore. Like, I just didn't like how everything was so negative all the time. I mean, not negative, because actually, you know, it's funny, the Mormon church never really told, they would mention it in so there was hour seminars, 3 hours. First hour was like mass. Like, everybody would be in the actual, like,
goddamn.
Yeah, in the actual, like, church, right?
Yeah.
Like how we were at the Baptist church, right?
Oh, yeah. You have your Sunday schools in the morning, and then, okay.
Yeah. So that we would have, like, testimonies and stuff like that. So they would have kids come up, and they were like, you know, they would do their testimony. And one thing they always finished it was, I believe this testimony is true, and I believe in the Book of Mormon. Like, every time you finish the testimony, you, like, everybody said that, which y'all never did. In the Baptist church.
No.
Like, you was just, because I don't think y'all really gave testimonies like that, but...
We did, which I fucking hated it. I hated giving testimony. Yeah. And especially, every time we would come back from those camps, they'd have us give testimonies. And it was just like...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it was just like, what I've been there 5 times. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus got me again. You know? Like, you know? Like, I went back to the same fucking restaurant and I ordered the same fucking food and I paid the tab. I went home and it was the same fucking experience. Like, why, you know, why? But literally every single time they were just like, no, tell us more. I don't know what fucking more to tell you. I didn't want to be there. You know?
Exactly. Like, it felt like when we were younger, we had better things to do. Like, it just didn't feel right, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, I don't know. I never was a church goer. Like, I felt like those people were too, like, close-minded to not, like, to be on the, like, what I'm on. Like, I'm not saying, like, woke or something, but just felt like they just felt like it was just, you would tell them a fact, and they'd be like, oh, no, that's not a fact. That's just an opinion of, like, you read that in a Bible. I mean, you read that in a book somewhere, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, no, it's
welcome to Christianity.
Yeah.
So literally, it's what they require is gaslighting. Like, they have to gaslight you. They have to gaslight themselves because at the end, and the thing is, like, at this point, I've become compassionate towards it because in the beginning, I used to get so frustrated by that. It's like, no, dude, this is an actual fucking fact. Like, how are you this fucking stupid, all this kind of shit. But you have to realize, like, if they have to accept that this is fact, then that means that their worldview and everything that they run their life by is not true.
Exactly. It changes.
And it, right? Because it's like the book of Genesis, right? It's pretty obvious, right? The conversation that Adam was having with God, who the fuck was there to record it, right? I mean, Adam didn't write the book of Genesis. Eve didn't write the book of Genesis. So who the fuck was there listening to these conversations that Adam and God were having in the garden, right? Like, let's just be fucking real. But if right? But the thing is,
no CNN.
But dude, it's like, you know, and you know, you bring that up to them and they have to reject it because if that's not true, then that means the book of Genesis isn't true. If the book of Genesis isn't true, then that means
everything else.
The whole fucking book is up for debate. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the big problem. And so that's why, and it's not so much, dude, there's like other sects of Christianity out there where it's just like, you know, they don't take the Bible serious. They see it as a storybook. It's just like, oh yeah, there's all these kind of crazy stories, but there's this higher meaning and it's just love God and love everybody, and that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah. And
I'm just like, why did I get born into this shit when that was an option? You know? Right. It's like you see some of these like universalist churches and stuff like that where it's just like they just kind of accept every faith and stuff like that, and it's just like, why didn't I get born into that shit? Why did I have to pick this hard ass fucking screaming hellfire brimstone? You're gonna fucking, you know, if you're not circumcised, then go to the hospital and get that taken care of so you can be Jewish. Head ass. But
yeah.
But dude, nobody teaches that, by the way. I'm sure there's somebody teaches that, but you know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so like, because I know you've had your run-ins with people. Danny, you're gonna go to hell if you don't change your life, if you don't, all this kind of stuff. And I know for you, for the most part, it's all kind of water off of a duck's back. But what was your deep kind of gut feeling about stuff? You know, like, did you believe in God? Were you atheistic? Were you just felt like it doesn't matter because I'm not a bad person? Like, where were you with all that?
Honestly, like, let's say something bad happened, right? I would do like a prayer, but it didn't feel like to God. It felt like to like a higher being in a sense, like just like, you know, the, like, not saying the universe, but like it just felt like if I said it, then maybe it would help, like, just, you know, because the bad things still happened anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I think that's an important thing to consider is like, you know, just because you pray doesn't mean that you're going to have your prayers answered. right?
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
the Christians, they kind of gaslight you with that all the time, because they're like, oh, this is good for you. Oh, God didn't answer your prayer. What'd you do? You know?
Yeah. It's kind of like the school shootings, like thoughts and prayers.
It's just like, oh yeah, like whenever the U.S. was going through all the shooting stuff, it was just like, or you know, whenever there would be like a big massive flood in California, and it'd kill a bunch of Californians.
Like the one recently in Texas right now.
And you notice the two very different, you know, the one in California, oh, it's because they're sinners and they're away from God, and God is dishing out his wrath. And then you see the one here that happened in like Kerrville or some shit like that. And it was just like, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I'm like, you guys are psycho.
Yeah.
Like, they need help.
Yeah. Right. And it's because one is just a red state and one is a blue state.
Right. So I mean, the thing
like
is,
that.
a lot of people with like the political stuff, you know, they tend to say, you know, Christianity doesn't lean left or right, and I get that, you know, but in the South, Christianity leans like
a little to the right.
Yeah. So
to the right. No, I'm just kidding. No.
But yeah, so what are your broad thoughts? Just kind of give me some of your broad thoughts about Christianity now. Like what are some of the things that you think is an actual problem? All that kind of stuff.
So with that Baptist church that we went to, honestly, I never had a big issue, because I felt like they didn't want to do too much with me because I was still Mormon.
Yeah.
So they never like really, I mean, like, yes, they would ask me like, hey, do you want to get baptized? Hey, do you want, you know, they would do that a lot, but they wouldn't like scold me or anything like that. Or, I mean, like, I didn't have any reason to be scolded at or something. But there was one time that, I don't know if you remember that lady that she came to my house and y'all were doing like Saturday morning, what was it called? What was that Saturday morning thing that you used to do? They like pull up to people's houses, like, hey, you coming tomorrow, right?
Drive-bys.
Yes. Damn. Was it really called that?
No.
No, okay.
But that's basically what it was. It was knock, 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 you're going to hell.
Right? It was like a big-ass van, and like 30 of y'all would come out that fucker.
I'm
like,
saying. We were
hey,
invading.
you coming tomorrow, right? And like,
we're invading.
Yeah. Dude,
No,
that
the Saturday morning, like, I don't know what they called it, the van ministry, bus ministry, or some shit like that. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd run around every fucking Saturday morning and just tell people, you know, you gonna come? You gonna come? And then we relied a lot on peer pressure, bro.
Yeah.
We relied a lot on peer pressure, because it was like, it wasn't just, hey, send one person to go chat with Danny. It was always like, oh no, let's get this big ass group of people to go to Danny's
mostly
house.
Kids.
Yeah. It's like, let's get this big ass group of people to go to Danny's house and go knock on his door, and then get him to say yes to everybody, you know? And it was just like, how fucking manipulative.
Yeah. Because with the Mormons, it was only 2 of them.
Yeah.
So but like,
we
when y'all pulled up, and it was like 4 or 5 of y'all. Like, one time it was like a party of 9 in my house. Like, damn, dude. Like, I even started passing out water bottles and stuff. Yeah. So, dude, that is like, oh, and then the thing is, you can't be like, oh, you know, my car broke down, so I can't go tomorrow. Oh, we'll pick you up. Yeah, we'll be there. 8:15, we'll be outside. Yeah, that was no doubt. It's like, well, you know, like, you know, it's a lot of us. Like, no, we got big ass vans, and we got 6 of them. They got windows so you can see inside. It's not like one of those Ray-Bans or something. Like, geez, bro. So and then they did have the stickers and everything, so it was official. But, dude, it's like you couldn't say no. Because it's like, you get to spit out the water, jeez.
Bro, I was about to joke. I was gonna fucking joke. No, I'm not drinking
Dude,
that.
the Mormons never did that. They never did that.
100%, bro. No
Yo,
excuses.
that was
No
one thing.
excuses.
Dude, we used to pick up little fucking kids with your mom in like random ass apartments in Spring Branch.
Like young kids, like 5 years old, 4 years old,
Yeah,
bro.
and it's like, damn, these little gremlins, bro.
Yeah,
like,
dude, that was fucking wild, bro. And you know what's crazy, dude? Literally,
Yeah.
Dad bought that van just for the church
Do
ministry.
that.
Yeah. Church didn't help him with it or like offer any sort of help for the payments. No. He bought the van, and then he just occasionally used it, and then the pastor was like, "Hey, Bill, you've got that big van. Do you want to bring kids to church and stuff like that, right?"
Yeah.
Never offered to pay for his gas. Never offered to help him out with payments or any shit like that. Like, literally was just like, "Hey, do you just want to do this thing that's going to take a stupid amount of your time, a stupid amount of effort, and a super costly. You want to do that for
that
free?"
That van was like $60,000,
dude. And then on top of that, you think about the miles, the maintenance, and all that kind of crap. It's like, dude.
Yeah, because your dad, he did not like waking up early.
No, dude.
And so we'd make it to church late every time too. Anyway.
Oh yeah, and then the pastor would get all pissed off and shit.
Yeah. So it's like, bro, I brought them.
Exactly. I'll fucking take them back. No.
Yeah. I'll go back home and I'll just watch the game Sunday.
Exactly. It's the World Cup. The fuck you thinking?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I think sports had a lot to do with it too, bro. There was a lot of games on Sunday, and I was a big Rockets fan back in the day.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
That's so funny.
Oh man.
So, let's talk about the stuff that. Go for it.
I wanted to get into with the lady that came to the house, and my mom, and then she basically like did a whole testimony with my mom, and my mom listened and everything was fine. And then that's when she was like, "Well, hey, can you did I convince you? Like, do you want to come to the church with us?" And my mom was like, "No, like, I'm still gonna go to my church. I just wanted to hear what you wanted to say, you know?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to, you know." And that's when she was like, "Well, you made me waste my time. Well, guess what? You're gonna go to hell for that." Basically, like you took 30 minutes of my time, and I was trying to like convince you to basically convert, and now you don't even want to give us a chance. So fuck you, basically. Yeah. It's
it's the manipulation, bro. It is like psycho manipulation, which explains why a lot of those people don't have healthy relationships. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
I used to think all the time that like the pastor had the healthiest relationship. Dude, were you there a couple of the times where he publicly humiliate like, dude, and the problem, she was right there supporting it. You're right. Yeah. It's not my place to be talking in the middle of the church. You know, like what the fuck, dude?
Especially when it was like about music too. Yeah. That's what she did.
Dude, because I remember you attended a couple of the practices, right?
Yeah, I would go.
Yeah. I remember you attended a couple of the practices because we had to go, and then I was like, no, Danny's gonna come hang out with me till next Thursday. You know?
Yeah. Dude,
Danny's ride or die with me. Like,
yeah, for real. Only reason I went is because of you.
And yeah, dude, it was just like here's the problem. I used to think that was healthy, bro.
Yeah.
At the time, whenever I was just a kid, I thought that was a healthy masculine figure. You know? Yeah. And it's like with my dad. I know my dad had issues with like the yelling and all that kind of shit, but I always thought that he came from a place of being right. And so that's why it was okay for him to be the absolute fucking crazy psycho that he was sometimes, was because, well, at the end of the day, we are supposed to be in church. So, you know, if he beats the shit out of my brother and forces him into the van, then that's holy, you know? Like...
Jesus.
Dude, bro, did I tell you about that? There was a time where where Billy, he'd sprained his ankle while we were playing sports, And
yeah.
and yeah, dude.
He sprained. He broke that shit.
Oh yeah. That's right. Because he had a
Yeah,
cast
he
on and
broke
all
it.
that shit. He had a cast on.
Yeah. He was out for like 8 months.
Was it a hard cast? I don't remember if it was a hard
It
cast or a
was.
soft. It was a hard cast,
Yeah.
and it was fresh. I mean, he just broke it like
Yeah.
the day before, 2 days before, something like that. So it was
It was
throbbing. It was hurting. It was fresh.
Yeah, it was the day before because that game was Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's
remember I
right,
slept over. I think I remember that day.
dude. And literally, it was fucking 7 a.m. Wake up, get ready for church, and Billy wouldn't get up out of bed. 7:30, wake up, get ready for church. Billy wouldn't get out of bed. 8 o'clock, wake up, get ready for church. Billy wouldn't get out of bed. And every time Dad would come in, Billy'd be like, "I'm not gonna go to church today. My leg's fucked up. Like I have a broken leg. Like give me a fucking break for one day, you know."
Yeah.
And dude, what was it, like 9:30 or some shit like that? Dad just came in there and just started screaming at him, "Billy, wake up, get out of the fucking bed." And then Billy was like, "No, my leg is broken." And then Dad just goes ham on beating the shit out of his leg. You remember that? Where he like literally like his cast was in bed and Dad just started beating the shit out of his leg. Dude.
No, I don't think I experienced that.
Psycho killer. but
Jesus.
But here's the problem. I grew up thinking this is right. I didn't think that this was good, right? I knew, like, whenever I saw the shit that my mom did, when I saw the shit that my dad did, like, I knew that it wasn't good, but I always came from the perspective of, but it was right?
Yeah.
And so the problem is that when I became an adult, how the fuck are you supposed to have a healthy relationship when all you've seen your entire life is if you are right, you are allowed to be a fucking monster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that happens. And so, I mean, that happens all the fucking time in, like, all these different kind of, you know, denominations and shit like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any families in the Mormon church where it was like this one kid turned out gay and the family just completely cut him off and he's no longer allowed to be with the family, all that kind of stuff? Did you ever have that in the Mormon church? Because we had that all the time in the Baptist church.
Dude, they were actually, I don't know if they had told them yet, because I knew a couple gay kids in the church, but they would still go. Yeah. And it was obvious. Like, there was one that it was obvious.
Yeah.
And, actually, no, it was just one. Sorry. No, I said a couple. I think it was just one. Yeah, just one. Never mind. Just one. It was obvious. Like, the way he spoke, the way he, like, you know, what he did. But he was cool. He wasn't, like, a bad person or anything. But they never told him, like, yo, you can't come to the church no more. Like, no, they just kept bringing him and, like, acted like everything's okay. Now, behind closed doors, who knows what happened there. But from what I saw, like, and even his, like, demeanor towards his dad or his mom, I never saw, like, a bad, like, kind of vibe. So I never got that. But I remember one time, that's why I thought of a couple. There was this girl. She was, like, 13. And she decided to come out to the whole church.
So start from there.
So there was a girl that she decided to, like, come out to the church, that she didn't like boys, that she was gay. And the whole church was just, they didn't go like, like what you would expect. Especially, like, Hispanics, like, are mostly, like, some are homophobic, to be honest. Like, I remember growing up, especially with my uncles and stuff, they were homophobic.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. Like, I remember that day because I was just like, oh, this is about to go crazy. Because I remember that experience from the Baptist church that they were like, oh, your brother's gonna go to hell. Yeah. So when they were like, we'll talk about it, and, like, they probably didn't, like, they probably took her behind the door and they started talking to her, like,
started beating.
I don't know what they did, but or said to her, but in public they didn't shame her. They didn't be like, you're going to go to hell. Like, they just said, actually the whole church was just like, thank you for your testimony and bye. Like, that's it. And then she sat down and we just continued like nothing happened.
That's crazy.
And
wow.
I forgot about that. Dude, that's Yeah.
That's wild.
And yeah. So the other guy, I don't think he ever came out like that. There's just, but I remember that she came out and it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Actually, if anything, we just went to the classes. Nobody talked about it. Like, none of the kids were like, "Oh my God, did you hear that she turned, like, she just came out as a," and mostly, now that I'm thinking about it, you would think like, "Oh, it's gossip as hell,"
Yeah.
But they were just like, "Oh, she's gay. Oh, it's cool." Like, because the kids that were in my group, they were open-minded like me.
Yeah.
They weren't dude, that group of kids, bro, we were different. Like, we were not like Baptists, like how y'all had like some really religious kids in there. Like, you can't even say frick, type, like, they were really religious. No, dude, they were, exactly. Dude, we would cuss in the church.
That's
and they didn't
crazy.
Say anything.
That is crazy.
I mean, we wouldn't say it so loudly, But like, we'd be like, or we would catch it, like, "Oh, you dumbass," and it's like, "Oh, we said you can't cuss in church," so we would like close our own mouth,
That's crazy.
But dude, like, I mean, even at like the Boy Scout camps, bro, we would talk about like getting with girls and like talking. It wasn't like it
wasn't like our camp. You remember you went to our camp, bro?
Yeah, like, let's pray.
Up.
Like, no,
that shit was buttoned up.
Yeah, dude. Like, no, dude. We were talking about like, "Oh, dude, like, I'm talking to this girl right now," or or like, "Oh, we're gonna throw this party. We're gonna get some alcohol. We're gonna try to get drunk and stuff." And it's like, this doesn't feel like a regular church. Like, it was different, bro. Like, that whole experience was different.
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
the group of people that I grew up with in that church, like, most of them were cool.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, a couple of them came from California. A couple were, they just like, I don't even know how to explain it, dude. They were just normal.
Yeah.
Like they weren't like overly religious. Like, dude, you can't cuss in the church. You say that, you're gonna go to hell. Like, like, they would cuss with us. like it's
wild.
Crazy. Like, I remember the Boy Scout camp. The Boy Scout master one time got really mad at us because we did like fuck up something in the camp.
Yeah.
And like, I think one time I skipped like 3 days. Like, I was supposed to have like 6 badges, like, set up for like, or like, I was supposed to have like 9 or 10 badges done by the end of camp. I only got like 2 done. And it's because, dude, like, they didn't supervise us, so we would go around. I would play basketball like 8 hours a day.
That's crazy.
And just chill, and I would go to some classes and I'd do some things, but then I'd leave. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. Like, fuck this. But the Boy Scout master got pissed one time, and he was like, "God damn it, guys! I fucking told you, y'all gotta go to the class." And that was like the last 2 days, so we went to class. We were like, fuck. He got pissed. Like, this whole time he's been cool, and he got mad. So we're like, all right, we got to give bro a chance. Because the Boy Scout master was
give bro a chance is crazy.
Because he was cool. Like, the dad was cool. It was a friend of mine. His dad, like, decided to be the Boy Scout master, and he was cool. Like,
bro's been here an entire week for no pay.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And he was a truck driver. So you know how that feels. Bro was like missing like probably like $6,000, $7,000.
For real. A week off of the road. A week off of the road. He was probably thinking about that the entire time.
Fucking supervising 15 kids, teenagers, and there was, I don't even know why we fought. Like, we were just both big, so they were like, "Hey, fight."
Yeah.
Like, okay. And we just fought. Like, and that was like the group of the kids in the church. Like, it wasn't like another church coming in and trying to bully us. No, it was the people in our own church were like, "Hey, you should fight him just because, go for it." Like, who cares?
That's crazy.
And so we fought, and like and then like afterwards we're like, "All right, bro, cool, bro." Like, all right, cool. And we ended up being
20 minutes.
Yeah, dude. And it's crazy, dude. Like, oh man. I mean, I said fat boy, but yeah, no, I didn't mean it like that. I feel bad now.
Yeah.
No, he was cool actually. But there was one time, dude, we were in Boy Scout camp, and it was like a 12-year-old, like, because we had like, so it was like age groups between Boy Scouts. You had like the 12-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, and the 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
me, I would hang out with the 14 and 17-year-olds because it was like, I was kind of like, I was kind of like that guy that can just like walk around and just get cool with anybody,
Yeah.
So we put the little kids to sleep. Like, all right, guys, y'all go to sleep. Mine, it's like 3 a.m. We're still up, just fucking roasting marshmallows.
Yeah.
And just talking,
Yeah.
And all you hear, Jesus, no me toques ahí. And like, dude, it's 3 a.m. It's dead silent.
Hey,
and all you hear is
Jesus came back.
Oh no, bro. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel bad for that kid because all of a sudden, all the older kids were like, yo, what are you doing? And like open the tent and we pull them out like, yo, what's going on here? And it's like, dude, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And yeah, that was probably like the only like, I would probably say like a hazing or like bullying I saw, but that's about it.
I don't know what is up with my camera. My camera's freaking out right now. Give me a second here.
Right, it's going back and forth.
It's like really tripping balls right now. All right.
It's like, I can't find you.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually don't know what's going on. It like seems to be like in love with putting me in the middle. Like, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm not moving it. I'm not moving it. It's
yeah. No, it's just doing it on its own.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh well, we'll ignore my crazy ass camera.
Okay.
So, what do you think? What do you think are the bigger problems with Christianity that you see kind of in the world today? Like what like do you think that religion does more harm than good? Do you think that kind of stuff, right? Like what are your problems or not what are the problems, but cuz everything's got problems, yeah. It's like it's like with cops. There's good cops, there's bad cops. You can focus on the bad ones, you can focus on the good ones, right? But it is important to bring the bad stuff up so that we can look at it, right? So, like, with Christianity, is there anything that kind of sticks out to you as, like, this is not healthy for society in general, or anything like that? Or, like, parenting advice and stuff like that? Is there anything like that? Like, for me, I don't think that we should be scaring the shit out of 7-year-olds, telling them that they're going to hell, and all that kind of shit, like that kind of thing.
I mean, that would probably be the biggest thing, trying to... They need to stop using hell as like the motivator to join a religion. Yeah. Like that just doesn't seem right. It just seems like if you want to go into something positive, why are you using something negative?
Right.
You should say like, oh, if you want to join my church, you should join it because you want to, because you feel like you're loved here, you feel like you're connected to the community here. Like I feel like a lot of churches aren't like that. Like how you mentioned that some churches help homeless people and some church like not all, I mean, churches help homeless people, and it's like, dude, not all of them do. Right. Like they'll turn them down and say like, nope, like this is for us, like this is for my church, and it's like, or for my people, Yeah.
And it's like at that point, it's like you can come to our church, but if you're not going to come to our church, then you're not going to get it.
Exactly. So I remember this lady. She went on the phone. I don't know if you saw like that whole, like there was a trend going on about churches being evil and stuff, but
she went on the phone. I saw that, and she was calling.
Yeah, for baby formula.
Yeah.
And she called like 100 churches, not 100 churches, I may be exaggerating, but it was like a bunch of churches. 2 of them said yes, only one of them was Christian, and the other one was like Muslim.
Yeah.
And it was
the
like...
the Muslim one, actually?
Yeah, the first try. First try. They were like, hey, like, we need baby formula, and the Muslim church was like, come on over.
They were like,
I don't think she called more than... Yeah, like, dale.
That's crazy.
So
that's wild.
It really comes down to that because who's that guy that used to go to the Baptist church and then he started his own church? Jacob, yeah. I never felt like he was a bad person.
Leave his last name omitted. We're naming too many people.
Yeah, we are, right? That's why I've been like speaking in code almost.
There is this fairy-tale creature, and his name's another name. It's not that.
Yeah, I was talking about the Book of Jacob.
Yeah, speaking about the Book of Jacob. Yeah. The Bible.
But or you could just do the little beep. Beep. Yeah.
I don't want to go through the editing. I'll probably just post it.
Okay, that's fine. I feel like he would be like one of those churches that would do something because his church was so small and he was trying to get himself up there into a bigger church. I feel like maybe he would do it, but you never know.
Yeah.
I never seen him like deny somebody, but I never seen him like be in the opportunity of like a homeless person coming up to him like, hey, can you help me out or something? And I never seen him go like, no, I'm not gonna help you.
Right.
I never saw that at the Baptist church either, to be honest. I don't know if you did, because I didn't go as much as you did.
So they would help out occasionally.
Yeah.
They would have like I don't know if you remember, but do you remember like the Thanksgiving like food drives and stuff that they did? Finally, I think I got the damn camera under control. But I don't know if you remember the Thanksgiving food drives that they would do, where they would like collect a bunch of food. They would literally, honestly, it was kind of fucked up. What they would do is that they would go to the entire community and they would get as many cans of food as that they could, but then they would only give it to people inside the church that needed the food. Like I didn't see them going out to a homeless person. I didn't see them going out to no. There were a couple of times where we genuinely just went to like trailer parks and like knocked on houses and stuff like that. But for the most part, like it was just kind of like, oh, here's this person in our church, like we'll give it to him, but not you.
Yeah, like I never seen like us go to like an impoverished community and like just set up like a big banquet for them and like, hey, like this is on us.
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah.
It's for the church. Like if you're gonna have a big banquet, it's for the church, which is understandable. You want your people to eat like in the church, but if you're a church, you're supposed to be open to everyone, and there's not supposed to be you're not supposed to be picky about the people that you get, because what if a Muslim man walks in and you see him wearing his
hijab or whatever they call it?
And he's genuinely just interested in the religion, but you turn him down because of the way he looks, because he's Muslim, especially because it was like Texas in 2004.
Westside, the way Westside would have handled that is that they would have let him stick around for like 2 to 3 services, but if he never changed, then they'd kick his ass back out.
Yeah.
Because they did that. Nice. There was a gay couple that came to our church one time, and they would sit in the back row, and they were no. Okay, so it did happen 2 times. Once was a gay couple, and the second time was a couple, but they weren't married, but they had a family together, they had kids together, all that kind of stuff, but they weren't married. Yeah, they weren't married, and they weren't interested in getting married, right? So it was one of those things where it's like we accepted it for a time, but after like 3 to 4 weeks, you haven't changed, you're out. It is kind of crazy, Okay, well, Danny, I feel like we're pretty good here.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you have not talked about yet, and really kind of take a moment while I squander a little bit of time? Sure. I'm just going to talk about random shit, and then you take a little bit of time to reflect and just think, kind of, all that kind of jazz. So I'm going to talk to the audience now for just a moment. Guys, if you've enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe, and if you'd like to be interviewed, the desertspring111@gmail.com is my email. You can send me an email, and, if you could set up an interview there, or if you just want to tell my story, or if you want to reach out for help, you have questions, you don't know anything, I've got resources out the kazoo. I'd love to help you on your walking away from Christianity, and finding out what works for you. And if you do enjoy the channel and all that kind of stuff, please actually do like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. I know that is super annoying and it's frustrating. You hear these YouTubers talk about it and it's super, super fucking annoying. But the reality is that that's how these channels grow. And the algorithm goes based off of the likes, the comments, and the view time. That's the algorithm. And so if you don't like, if you don't comment, if you don't stick around for a long time, these are just dead in the water videos. So if you do find a video that you do like, you want to spread the word, please show the video some love. I would appreciate it, because I really, I think that we're doing a lot of good here. So there's the commercial break. Danny, is there what are your beliefs now, and what is your closing statements? Is there anything that you want to
Yeah.
add?
Honestly, now, fully growing up and thinking about it and everything, I just feel like I don't get myself into trouble. I'll be fine. Like, there are people doing some evil shit out here. Yeah. So I'm not even close.
For those who are curious, we're at March 1st of 2026, so you can look at the news events of March 1st, 2026, and see all the shit that's happening right now.
Yes. So honestly, like at that point, it's really like it just comes down to not overthinking the little things like that.
Yeah.
I'm honestly I'm kind of blessed to be kind of a positive person too. Like I've never been really negative, so it's difficult for me to be like, if somebody's down and they try to do something stupid, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you just because you did that now you're going to hell.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, dude, I'm gonna talk to you and I'm gonna try to help you out if I can. So I honestly I've been to so many church ceremonies, Catholic, Pentecostal, because I went with my tia Layla one time too, which was the craziest experience I've ever had, dude. Like, the singing until 2 a.m. was insane. Like, what?
Don't do that.
Like, yeah, and then I mean, I don't know. I never felt the spirit of God in me to the point where the pastor is like, "Que te arrepiente," and then it's like, like they would full on like have a seizure in church.
Yeah.
And like it felt like that. And dude, that was actually my scariest like moment. Like I think I was like 6. Yeah, 6 years old. And we're in this random church at 2 a.m. and the ladies just decided to like, oh my God, yes. And it's like, I'm not gonna judge her for saying like, because she probably does feel God in her or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's like, dude, is this an act or what? Because like, damn, you're doing a little too much there.
I think about that all the time, man. I'm just like, all these people, they're out there and they're like really going at it. And the thing is, I think the brain is a very powerful thing. I think if you let yourself get there mentally, then you can have your distortions and all that kind of shit, But yeah. All right, well, it's Danny.
Like a Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. Any last thoughts?
No, I just be a good person.
Be a good person. Okay. You heard it here live. No. No, honestly,
be a good person to the extent of not being an asshole, I would say.
Yeah. No, but that's that's the thing that it comes down to. It's just like, and the thing that I've always loved about Danny, I love this guy. But, the thing I've always loved about him is that, he just accepts everybody,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you did, what you do, And to me, it's kind of funny, but it's going to be kind of sound of a weird thing. But to me, that is like the most Christ thing ever, of just accepting a person and loving a person, right? And not judging them. And just kind of seeing them where they're at. And then you see these Christians out here that are just like, no, he needs to change. They need to change. They need to do this. They need to do that. They need to believe that. They can't go to that church because that one's going to hell. But you can go to the church over here on Long Point, or you can go to the church on the Word. But all the churches from here to North Houston, hell, all of them.
Like, it's like, isn't your God named Jesus as well?
Yeah.
Or is it like what is going on? Like we just read the King James version, or I don't know what another version is, but it's like, bro, it's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
And, I heard a Muslim guy talking about how Jesus was a prophet for the Muslims. I don't know if you really got into.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. So
the I don't know like the whole thing about like the
Yeah.
extent to all that kind of stuff, but I think it's similar to kind of like the beliefs of Mormonism, because Mormonism don't necessarily see Jesus as God, right? Is that right or
No,
am I
no,
wrong?
they do. They just have
Who
a
was
guy
it
named
again?
Joseph Smith that basically wrote the Book of Mormon, and he was the first prophet. Like
Who
he was the first one to get the writings from God.
which church was it that didn't see Jesus as God? I
It's
know
a
that
Muslim because they see him as a
no.
prophet. They don't see him. They don't see him as
No, but there's a church.
as an actual God.
But
Allah would be the God.
no, but there's like a Christian church. There's like a Christian church that
Lu-
doesn't see Jesus. Oh,
Lutherans? No,
maybe.
not Lutherans.
I don't know. I don't know enough about them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, but I know there's one out there where it's like he's seen as like a really good prophet, but that's it, just
Yeah,
a prophet. Um,
yeah,
but yeah. All right, well, Danny,
yeah,
we're gonna end the recording there. I'll film a little intro and an outro, and that'll be the episode. So let
for
me
sure.
just stop the recording here. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview. Please stick around for more. You'll have different videos up here being recommended to you. And once again, guys, if you could just leave a like, comment, subscribe, it really helps the algorithm out. I didn't want to be one of those people who ask for likes and comments and subscribes, but there is a dramatic difference between how YouTube treats a video when it gets likes and doesn't get likes. So, okay, I hope you guys appreciated the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.